Okay, so Steph broke the record. I found it fitting that the two threes he had tonight, one was a pull-up three off of a screen, and the other one was some off-ball action where he started around the baseline and just got a pin-down screen and just took it like that, like along the wing, because those are kind of his two signature types of threes, you know? I mean, is Steph the best off-ball player ever? Most likely, yeah. I mean, there's not too many guys who are better than him, period. I don't know exactly where he ranks right now. Some people would say he's already top 10. Maybe not. I don't know. He's still got a little bit of time to go. If they win a title this year, then that conversation gets interesting. But, you know, I was looking at some of Steph's rookie highlights, and the thing that was wild was just how many mid range jumpers he attempted, where he'd get a screen and he actually had the pull up three, but it was what, 2010 or whatever it was, and just the idea of taking that shot a certain number of times, or really any time at all, especially as a rookie, was just not as much of a thing, you know? I mean, he attempted like about 5 threes a game in his rookie season, and that ranked not towards the top of the league, but it wasn't too far down the list either. And of course, nowadays, 5 threes a game probably puts you, I don't know, like 90th in 3 pointers attempted or something. I don't have a list in front of me. I could be wrong on that one, but that's the feeling, right? And of course, if it wasn't for Steph, then who knows how many threes teams are attempting now. And really, that just shifts everything, right? Because it puts more of an emphasis on being able to defend that sort of stuff, which usually means big guys who can't move around as well. As we know, they're not as much of a thing as they used to be, right? And this is the effect that Steph Curry and the Warriors have had. I feel like I'm just saying obvious things, but I don't know what else I would say right now. To think about, because this is always something, right? You think about the comparison of like Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, Steph Curry, or even like Allen Houston, or Steve Kerr, Drazen Petrovic, great shooters who just didn't attempt as many because it wasn't as much of a thing to shoot more than, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 threes a game. And that was like if you were a great shooter, And you compare that to the guys today, it's like, how do you do that comparison? I think the best you can do is just sort of have an imaginary world in your head where it's like, well, if Ray Allen played today and he had the liberty of taking as many pull-up threes and all that he wanted to, he would be right there, right? I also think it's kind of funny to think sometimes about, you look at somebody like Kyle Korver, where for a good chunk of his career, I mean, he was a good player. He bounced around a lot, but he played a lot, and everybody knew it with Korver, right? 3-point shooter, all that. But through a combination of course, shooting being more important later on, as Korver got older, on top of us just appreciating shooting more, suddenly Korver went from just a guy to someone who was pretty highly coveted, with his peak being that like 3 or 4 year window with the Hawks. What is the point of this whole thing? I don't know. Peja Stojakovic deserves more praise. He had one random year where he was like not that far off in the MVP conversation. It's like, what's going on right now? So how many threes is Steph going to end up with in his career? I mean, his average is about, I don't know, 350 made threes a year or so. Of course, he had 400 in 2016. Well, the first thing, of course, is just how many more years is Steph going to go? He's not slowing down at all, right? You think if he has, I don't know, 5 more years left, 350 threes a season, it's a safe bet he'll finish with over 4,000 made threes. Could he get to 5,000? He would have to probably extend his career a little bit, or take his 3-point attempts per game to just like another stratosphere, which, hey, maybe. I mean, why not, right? And of course, the dude changed the NBA in a lot of ways because, I mean, you look at Trae Young and the shot attempts that he has already attempted, and he was attempting in his rookie season. If it's not for Steph Curry, I don't know if it's ever okay for somebody to shoot those shots, Anyway, the last thing to think about for me is just, you remember the very beginning of Steph's career where there was uncertainty, right? There was that, well, can he and Monte Ellis play together? Monte Ellis did not believe so. Of course, the Warriors organization correctly chose a certain guy among those two to keep. But even so, there was also the ankle injuries, and I mean, there were some people who didn't think he was going to be amazing in the NBA just because of his size and all that. So for what all that's worth, I don't know. But yeah, man.